Okay, family, I am back. And so y'all, I did a test video, that last one, and it went directly from my device, which is a Samsung computer, and I sent it straight to YouTube. The last few videos you have been seeing on video, uh, uh, on YouTube, I'm sorry, have been very crappy. I was just looking at the mouth as I spoke. It was like I could see scalar squares right around this area. And when I talk, I mean, my mouth was really not doing what I was saying. And I was like, this is not right. The audio was ridiculous. I mean, I couldn't hear it, and I know it's not my device because we're talking about a computer that is barely 6 months old. It's a Samsung. So I don't know. I don't know if it's YouTube, if it's some adversaries or something like that, or some other things going on, or some other technical difficulties or whatever. But like I said, I can go to some other channels and picture quality is awesome. I've even gone to some of my past videos and saw some okay, picture quality. Not all that, but some okay picture quality, and the audio was all right, but not as bad as this. You know what I'm saying? So I had to stop for a minute and say something is wrong. Let me do something about it because I noticed that it was getting difficult for my family to hear what I was saying, and I got to get this message across. So now, once again, I'm going directly from my device and uploading straight to YouTube, rather than to upload straight from YouTube's web cam. Y'all got to excuse me. I'm eating some of these jellies. I love jellies and sweets and stuff like that. Jelly candies and stuff. Real good by Mott's. Motts. Anyway, another reason I came back, and what was so weird is that last video that was a test vid. I did it in broad daylight, but it was just as dark. And then I'm looking at this right here, right now. I just did it just a little while ago, and it's just as bright now. You know what it is? No lighting that has changed. Same lighting. Had the same lighting then that I have now, but for some reason it was darker on the last vid. But anyway, I won't make a big deal out of it. Mama ain't crazy. Mama just paid a lot more attention to things that people will overlook. That's the only difference between me and the others. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something. Do you all find yourselves being the scapegoat most of the time? Do you all find yourself as being the blame for everybody's problems? Do you find yourself having to always apologize for everything, in spite of the fact that you had nothing to do with it? Okay? Do you have someone else's burdens on your backside? Women, I'm especially talking to you, because a lot of the times we find ourselves taking the responsibility for everyone's problems. Do you want this to end? Do you want this to stop? The reason why I'm talking about this is because there are some contracts out there. Some contracts that must be destroyed. Some contracts that must be voided. Okay? A lot of you all have made contracts to accept, you understand, and to bear the burden. And I know a lot of people don't like the word sins, but I'm just using the word sins for the purpose of, allowing some people to understand what I'm talking about. Because, a lot of people don't quite have the words for it, but a lot of people say sins. Have you made a contract, knowingly or unknowingly, you understand, to bear the sins of people who cannot bear them for themselves? Have you taken on someone's burdens? Are you bearing someone else's crosses? The reason why I'm asking, because a lot of these things can affect your health mentally, physically, spiritually. You find yourself, with a low immune system, with a bad cold all the time in the wintertime. You may find yourself aching all over, knees hurting, elbows hurting, joints hurting, you know, um, allergy issues, stomach issues, just not feeling well, down in the spirits, emotional problems and emotional sicknesses and stuff. If you're finding yourself with these problems, maybe you are bearing too many crosses. Maybe you have a bag of sins, of misfortunes. And I'm only using sins for the purpose of labeling it so people can understand what I'm talking about. Maybe you are carrying around someone else's load, whether it be your husband's, which he's not able to do it, or he refuses to do it because he figured you can do it. Are you a mule? A mule carrying around other people's problems. You got to really evaluate yourself to see, because if you can only drop these loads that don't belong to you, you know, then you can get better. You can get well. You can, your magic can be out of this world. You can drop some of that baggage. You know what I'm saying? So you need to sit down and evaluate that. And if you do find that you are bearing someone else's troubles, maybe it's because, you feel some type of reward for doing so. Matter of fact, sit down and figure out why you are doing it. What's the reward? Is the reward worth it? Some people do it because they figure, oh, I want them to like me. You know what I'm saying? Why do you want them to like you? Some people do it because they say, I want to be popular. Is it worth being popular and being sick at the same time too? Sit down and try to figure out why you have decided to bear someone else's burdens. Okay? So, anyway, I say all of this to say that if you've decided that you want to, you know, take your magic to the next level, and you want to go to the next level, then this is the day to decide to void out those contracts. And I want to do a little session on voiding out contracts, okay? Verbal contracts, written contracts, unknowing contracts. Okay, you may have some contracts stacked up on you from a little child and don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Now is the time to void them out. Okay, and so I don't want you to do them quite yet. We're gonna do a little session on that, because contracts, I feel, shouldn't be voided right now because we're heading into a full moon phase. I say we will do those during a winding moon. Okay. So I'm coming back with that pretty soon. And let's hope for the best with this video right here. I'm going to go straight from my device to YouTube rather than use YouTube's webcam. You see what I'm saying? So here we go. Let's see what happens, okay? Be back in just a sec.